Hello and welcome to the Work for Change podcast. It's your boy, Jean, spelled like Jean. It's been a while since I've done that.
You said that backwards.
I know.
Okay, well, it's your boy, John with the silent H. Thank you so much for coming to episode 72 of the Work for Change podcast. The first
Quarantine edition.
Quarantine edition, probably of many. Probably this is going to be the quarantine series.
The quarantine series.
And this is the first Glaudecast, Brocast podcast in quite a while.
It's
been a long time now.
It's been a while.
So as you can't tell, but if you're watching, you can tell we are at home right now. So we're in our second room, which is now an office.
Yeah, it was a spare bedroom. It was when we had a roommate, Caleb, and then he moved on from us.
He moved on in life.
For about, what, 4 months? There was nothing in here.
Yeah.
And then Sam, her job was like, hey, it's time to work from home. And within a matter of day and a half, this had become a full-on home office because Sam is just like that.
Yeah, it was the day, pretty much was the next day she had moved everything in and then set up her little space.
And then we got a futon.
Yep, we got a futon, which is what we're sitting on now.
And then our gym closed down and I have to work from home from work as well. Or I don't have to, it's just an option. And I'm like, well, I'll set up a desk at home. So then I grabbed my desk from over at the gym in the Work for Change office and brought it over here. So this is a full-on functioning home office space.
Yeah, and my office is downstairs.
I mean, you edited downstairs all the time anyway.
That's true.
Like, if you wanted to have turned this into a home office months ago, you really could have.
Yeah, but I just didn't want to.
And now that it's here, you're like, I want to use it.
I know. It's so nice, and like I'm jealous.
Yeah, it is nice. Maybe when Sam goes back to work, it'll be a double home office space.
Second office or something like that. But this week obviously has been insane. The past like 2 weeks has been insane, especially if you're in America.
I feel like, especially if you're in Italy.
Well, yeah, of course. Anywhere. But I'm just saying, like, for us, these past 2 weeks have been quite interesting. And then especially for us in San Diego, California, past 2 days, we've had a full-on stay-at-home order. What is it? Shelter in home or something like that?
It's like shelter in place or something.
Shelter in place. And so basically it's highly discouraged. I mean, there's no like cops patrolling the streets, making sure you don't go outside, but it's highly encouraged that you stay inside unless you are basically pretty much like, unless you're going to get food, going to take care of someone, or you're going to your work. It's pretty much it. And then luckily they've said that you're allowed to go on walks, you're allowed to go on a run, but it's kind of like you want to keep at least 6 feet away from anyone else. And so it's interesting. Like I was on a walk yesterday or maybe it was the day before, I don't know, recently. And
they all blend together these days.
They really do. They all blend together. And it's just strange, like, because normally when I'm on a walk, I definitely, at least, it's not like I go up to everyone and say hi, but I definitely like say, I give them a wave, I smile. I don't like avoid people. Now I know that they haven't said you can't wave and smile at people, but I feel this tension in the air when I walk. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not, for me, it's like, I don't mind if someone were to wave to me, I would 100% wave back. I would be happy with that. But I don't know. I don't know where someone else's like mental place is right now, how freaked out they are. And so I don't want to freak them out more by like talking to them, right? Or like initiating any sort of wave from a distance or anything. And so like I was even noticing it myself, like people were kind of avoiding when you'd walk, walking down the street opposite ways, you kind of just like really avoid each other. And then on top of that, like some people are like, covering their mouths with masks and stuff. So it was like, it's just weird. So I'm trying to be, cautious of their space and make sure that I don't want to freak anyone out. And so
it doesn't help that we had that one lady, we were taking pictures outside of you for running. And this lady, like yards away, just like covers up her mouth with her jacket. She's walking 2 dogs. And then about a couple yards out, she just goes into the middle of the street because we were on the sidewalk. She just goes in the middle of the street, walks, goes back down still with her mouth covering her jacket, or her jacket covering her mouth. And then about, another 30 yards out, she finally lowers her jacket. It was just like a Wow, this is crazy.
Yeah, and it like at first, I'm gonna be honest, like when that first happened, I was kind of like, oh my gosh, this person's being annoying, like you're being so extra. But she was an older lady, and now as more and more information comes out, it's like, well, she's just trying to protect herself, you know? But it's just normally, like in a normal situation when this isn't going on, and this is where my mind is, you know, like in a normal situation, if someone were to do that to me, I would feel like, what the heck did I do? You know, like that seems very rude. And that's how we've lived. Well, I've lived like that for 27 years, right? Like you don't go by someone and cover your mouth and like act like you're disgusted with them. Yeah. Now that is very normal and it's like almost expected.
Yeah.
And so it's been quite the, I mean, I think everyone is adjusting to it. And I will say that I do feel like really lucky that like it's really, this whole situation has made me so thankful for the platform that I have. Because I'm able, like, I really do feel like I can help in some capacity. Not at all saying I'm an expert on any of the virus stuff, but it's like, I know that there are millions of people that are just like all three of us that live in this house that are very sad the gym is closed. Like, and I understand that it's such a small problem compared to everything else, but it's a problem nonetheless that we all work out to feel sane, right? Yeah. And so I've really found like, I don't want to call it like a calling, but it's like I've found a lot of that I'm able to help a lot of people by posting workouts. And I've been posting more videos than I've ever posted on my Instagram. And I'm just like, I don't care if people are annoyed with it. I don't care if people are like, you know what I mean? Like normally I'm like, I don't want to post too much in a day. Like I used to really care about that. Now I'm like, I don't care because like, I don't care because I feel like people having options of stuff to do at home is worth people maybe being a little bit annoyed with me posting a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's been really cool. Like I've always felt, and this is something that I struggle with always, is like I'm posting more workout stuff than I ever have. The reason I haven't before is because I always felt like I wasn't qualified enough. There are other people out there that know better than me, so why would I do it? Like that was always my mindset.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, I'm in no shade, but I'm seeing a lot of people that aren't stepping up to the plate, and it blows my mind. Like people just aren't posting things, and I'm just like, kind of like, what's going on? Like, why aren't people? Like, I mean, there are a lot of people posting stuff, but I really feel like there could be more. And so I'm like, well, I can help. You know what I mean? I can post these work. Like for me, I'm going to work out a lot of times twice in a day. That's going to happen anyways. Like that's just how I am, especially now that I have even more time, like it's going to happen. So why not? All I have to do is film a couple of the sets, bam, make a post. Someone has an idea for a workout. It's so easy, you know? And so it's like, for me, it's no problem. And we are like, we're so lucky that we live in a house, right? We don't live above anyone.
Yeah.
So I can do burpees. I can do like, there's a lot of things that if I was living in a 2-story house, I wouldn't be able to do that I do.
Like second story apartment.
Yeah, like a second story apartment. So I'm really, really happy that at least through all of this, I'm able to use my gifts and my talents and my platform for a way for good. And I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, but it's just, this is a crazy time. And I think for a lot of people, it's hard to find purpose, I guess. And I really feel like, not saying that that's my purpose, but that's something that I can do to help people out there. And then like even making videos talking about diets and stuff, because this is also this might sound silly to someone that doesn't struggle with food, but if you do struggle with food, this is genuinely terrifying. Mm-hmm. Being stuck at home all day with food, that can be really scary for a lot of people. And so like I want people to know, because I made a video on my channel, like like if you're worried about that, that's normal. Like it's okay to feel that way. And, just trying to give people different options and kind of like show them what they can do and how they can navigate that. Cause it's a scary time. I mean, we genuinely have no idea how long this is going to last. Is it going to be until the end of March? Is it going to be till the end of April, May, June? Like April. That might be a new month that they add.
That they just add it to the calendar because we have all the time we've lost.
Exactly.
Yeah. April.
Yeah. That's one of my favorite months.
Do you feel better?
Sorry, I just went on a rant there.
No, it's okay.
You kept looking at me, and I was like, dude, I'm going to keep going if you're not going to stop me.
I didn't want to stop you.
Yeah.
I mean, you can tell that you've had a lot of stuff you wanted to share.
Yeah, man. There's there's a lot on my mind, but then at the same time, there's like nothing on my mind.
Yeah.
It's a very like, it's a weird time. It's a weird time. And I knew that when we were going to record this podcast, like, you guys know us, we're not experts. Like, we're just two stupid dudes that are brothers, right? Like,
yeah, accurate.
Yeah. One's really stupid, and then one is named John, and that's me. And so
I'm too stupid to get the insult.
but like, I knew that this is what we were going to talk about. Like, there's no avoiding it. I think that, I don't know, maybe as the months go by, hopefully not months, but as the weeks go by, it'll be easier to talk about things that aren't related to this. But like right now, it's hard to not. Mm-hmm. It feels weird not talking about it. At least like this is the first time we've had a podcast together since it's all happened. So yeah, I felt like it would have been strange to not bring it up. And like, again, we're not sitting here saying you need to do this, you need to do that, but I thought it would be kind of cool to share our experience because everyone is currently, it's like very strange with like the virus, right? Like there's Italy who is on complete lockdown, that's horrible, like so sad, right? Yeah. They're going through that, and then we are at one level where, even all the states here are different. Like California, complete lockdown, basically, like just basically restaurants are open right now, pretty much it. And then there's other states like Texas and stuff, like they haven't done much at all, Yeah,
I was on Instagram Live and someone was like, I'm in Australia and we haven't really done anything. Mm-hmm. There's been like they're just, and so I was like, that's one thing I really like about Australia is how chill you are. And then the person was like, no, it's bad. At some points, I wish we did take things more seriously because we're not doing anything about this,
It's it's definitely interesting because of everyone being in different places and like everything being different for everyone. You see some people, like I follow some people from Australia, right? Like games athletes, and they're still at the gym working out. And I'm just like, it just feels weird. It's like, what are you doing? You know, but you have to realize like they haven't been told not to do that. They haven't, there's no mandates for them. And so, like whatever you might think, like, because I post like if I go out on a walk or something like that, because there are some places that you can't do that now. And I've had people message me like, I can't believe you're going out on a walk. And it's like, I'm just listening to what my government is telling me what to do. Yeah. And they've said in the mandate, it said walks are encouraged and going on runs is encouraged as long as you're staying away from people. Yeah. And so for me, I'm like, I'm going to stay away from people. I'm going to wash my hands right when I get home, like not touch my face. For my sanity, I feel like, but I understand it's a very, like everyone has a very visceral reaction to this. And so it's been interesting seeing how people are kind of dealing with it.
Yeah. My work has been very interesting. So I do the multimedia at my church, which, up until recently, I'm a 20-year-old, in the
Jean, you're not 20 years old.
I'm 29. I mean, we're
30 years old.
I know, but I'm still 20. I'm definitely 20 compared to all the 40-year-olds I work with. You know what I mean? Like, so to them, they're all just 40, but they're 40. Whereas I'm 29, but I'm 20, in their mind. So my role has always kind of been like we recognize that what you do is important, but it's not like essential. Vital. Right.
Well, before, basically what you did was you edited the videos.
I edited videos. I shot videos, edited videos, made graphic design, and anything that resembled IT inevitably fell on me, which I'm not IT.
We're both not IT. Yeah.
And so with everyone else, everyone else who is not exempt, so all the salaried people, they're still working. They have to. That's their job. They're salaried. They're working. Everyone who's hourly, like me, have nothing to do. Because, like, if you look at church and you make it, like, super baseline, like, what service do they provide? Not, like, anything else outside of, like, well, here's the service that we give. What we do is we create events for people to attend every Sunday, essentially, like Sunday, and then we break out into like small groups throughout the week and stuff. Like
that's why it's called like the Sunday experience.
Yeah, like the baseline of what we do, like taking all religion and everything out, is just we create events for Sundays, and we cultivate communities through
Opportunities
small
for people
groups.
to meet. Yeah.
So when people aren't meeting on Sunday and when groups aren't meeting, most of those jobs go away. And so a lot of my friends at work have like no hours, and they're like, a lot of them are like this, you know, this is just supplemental income.
They were only had like 8 hours a week anyways, kind of thing.
Only like 8, like, you know, 20 hours, but they're like husbands work and they're just doing this as like a way to get out of the house kind of thing. I think I'm the only hourly guy. And like, that's not like to say anything, but it's just a lot of them, their husbands work and
You're canceled, dude.
I know. I'm so racist. I mean, I'm so sexist. But my role has just significantly increased, where it's like I'm the only hourly person at the office. The entire service today was pre-recorded videos that I had to make throughout the week, and edit.
You edited it in one day
and live stream.
That was impressive.
Yeah, and learn and download live stream software, because our church didn't live stream before. I've done a couple live streams through like YouTube and on my own, but never like anything crazy. So like getting all the live stream software, getting just everything in 1 week to make sure it happened. Plus all the social media that we're trying to do to like reach out to our church family so they know that we're here for them. Essentially doing what you said you were trying to do for for the fitness people. I'm doing for the church people. I just realized my ring wasn't on. I took it off when I was doing some sick flutter kicks.
We'll talk about that.
But it's just been like, my role has significantly increased in vitality and essentialism, being essential. And so it's definitely been a weird thing for me, because it's like everything is slowing down except those who are in the video and live stream. And like, I was thinking about it today, and I think a lot, like, I purposefully chose what I do because it's future proof. If anything, it's the direction the future is going. It's like, barring some like post-apocalyptic nightmare where now we're selling
the internet doesn't
water
work anymore.
Yeah, we're selling water for goods or whatever. Like my job is future proof, and I did that on purpose. And so it's so interesting to see now everyone who kind of like disregarded social media, disregarded live, disregarded all this stuff. Now that is the only way to connect.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to see how like different my opinion has become in meetings. How many more meetings I'm in now because they need to know how to do this and where do we go here. Like, it's like super interesting just to see how that role that I've seen as this is what's going to happen anyway, how a single event like coronavirus caused all of it to just change in an instant.
Yeah, I think that was something I was thinking about. I think it was yesterday. Again, all the days are blending in together, but of how insanely grateful I am for social media. And like most of the time when you hear people talking about social media, you know, before it was always negative, always, right? And that's something that on our podcast, we've always been very middle of the road. You know what I mean? We've talked about the negatives and the positives.
Yeah, exactly. We recognize that there are negatives, but we were always like, you guys are missing out on the positives if all you say is negative.
Yeah. And so now everyone is focusing on, it seems like not everyone's focusing on the positive, but a lot of people are like, wow, if it wasn't for this, I would genuinely be alone. Yeah. I was even thinking about it this, like right before we started recording this podcast, how thankful I am that I live with you and Sam. Mm-hmm. Because if I lived by myself right now, like this, I don't know what would happen. Like, yeah, it would be very scary. I would probably have to be like, I'm going to move in with someone until this is over, because I don't want to be alone. And we're going to have to deal with our germs touching or something like that, you know, because I can't imagine how tough it would be living genuinely by yourself and having no one. That would be really hard. Now, that's when you would have to lean on social media and just technology in general, like doing Skype calls with your friends or FaceTiming your friends. Like that would be like, I don't know what I would do. Like I've been doing a lot more lives of my workouts and stuff, just because one, like I do miss that, like going to CrossFit, and like I do miss that community of people, and like, cause my job is an alone thing most of the time. Mm-hmm. Like I work. I mean, my videos that I film are alone. Editing is alone. You know what I mean? Like working on whatever behind the scenes, emailing alone. You know, I don't have any sort of managers or anything like that. And so I don't. There'll be a lot of days where I don't talk to anyone almost all day long. Like especially if you and Sam wake up early and go to the gym and I don't see you. After, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
and then we go to work.
Yeah. Like unless I work out, and that's the whole thing. Is like now that's gone, right? So it's like. I am very, very thankful for social media. And I mean, I am also like super thankful for our gym. It's kind of a weird segue, but like our gym, that's what I mean. I'm not trying to turn this into CrossFit's the best, but like the fact that, because a lot of CrossFit gyms, like this is a scary time. This is a scary time for any gym, right? Yeah. But a lot of CrossFit gyms kind of what I thought was cool and what they're doing to, I would say, one, just out of the kindness of their hearts, but two, to encourage people to not cancel their membership is lending out equipment. So our gym has lent us out some dumbbells, some kettlebells, you know, just a couple things. And if it wasn't for that, like I would have pretty much nothing.
Yeah, we weren't ready for home gym life.
No, we were not. And so if it wasn't for them, like basically, so what they're doing is lending out equipment, and I'm pretty sure, I don't think they ever like made this announcement, but I think it's kind of like a,
you don't cancel your membership if you're renting out equipment.
If you're renting out equipment, you don't cancel your membership. And so, and I think that that's been a really smart thing. I think it's not like it's our gym that made this up. A lot of gyms are doing this. And I think that it's a very smart way for one, the gym to stay open in this time. Yeah. And two, for people to continue having workouts when they're home. And like, that's something that, because if it wasn't for that, we would have been screwed, dude. Yeah. Like everything is sold out everywhere, even online. Like Rogue, like the only dumbbells you can get are like 120-pound dumbbells. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, exactly.
Everything is sold out.
And I can only do like 5 curls with that too.
I can only, literally.
Only like 5.
I can only do about 150 squats with that. It's crazy. But like, so it's just like we got really, really lucky with that. And I think that I'm really glad because I've been able to create workouts through those. So it really like, I was talking to my girlfriend about it. Like I've gotten very lucky with everything that's gone on. I haven't gotten affected too much as far as it's not like my job has disappeared. Yeah. I mean, I can't even imagine what that would be like.
There are people, people have reached out like just through the church, which makes sense. And they've been like, hey, I don't know what we're going to do. Husband and wife have lost our jobs due to this, or, you know, like they've completely laid us off. There are some serious ramifications. And I think that personally, I believe the bigger fallout from all this Corona is going to be the economic turn, like what's going to happen now that businesses let's just imagine, because you know it's out there. Someone just opened their company on March 1st and they're so excited about it, and then Corona hits, you know, or like some personal trainer. Like we have a personal trainer who started at our gym March 1st, and like she's doing what she can, but that's a huge hit, you know, like, and so it's like there are definitely, like, we are blessed with the circumstances that we are in, and it's still uncertain for like me. Like eventually I'm gonna have all the videos edited, and what am I, you know what I mean? Like, so there's still like things that I'm like concerned about, but I'm also not at all, like, I recognize I have thankfulness for what I do have, and I'm trying to like maintain that throughout whatever happens. Like have glasses on that help me see thankfulness versus
rose tinted glasses.
Yeah. Well, not even rose tint, because that gives a bad connotation of like, even when things are, you're looking at things wrong. But like, just like I can look at things through the lens of like discouragement and frustration, or I can look at things through the lens of thankfulness. And it's like I'm constantly trying to focus on the thankfulness glasses and trying to throw the disappointment glasses away.
I think that's a really good thing, is like focusing on what you can do instead of what you can't do. Because if you focus on what you can't do, you can do that all day. Like there's a lot of things all of us can't do. But like for me, you know, bringing it back to like the whole home gym fitness thing, it's like, okay, what can I do? And like, it honestly has been fun figuring things out. And like, okay, well, how would this work? What about this? Maybe I'll try this with this dumbbell, and like, you know, just random things. And then I was like messing around with Jean and Sam. I was like, I really want to get a pull-up bar. And then Sam finally, I don't know why she didn't say it right away. She was like, I have one at my mom's house. And I was just like, you what?
Yeah, I think she might have forgot about it.
She probably,
because it wasn't ever opened.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So that's the thing, is like this pull-up bar, literally, never even, it was in the box. And
all
so
wrapped up, like
all
all
wrapped, yeah,
every,
it
like
hadn't
disassembled and
it
everything.
hadn't been used. And so I like set it up, and now we have a pull-up bar at the house, which is like, it's just like these little things, man. Like before, I wouldn't have cared. I'm like, oh, pull-up bar, I mean, whatever. Like, I guess like if I had extra time, I might have set it up.
Yeah.
Because it took like 15 minutes to set up. I'm not a carpenter, okay? But now I was like, I got it and I was so excited. It was like I was a child on Christmas. Like I was like, oh, I can't wait. I like set it up right away, And like there's so many things that you can't do. So like the little things that you can, I feel so much more grateful being able to do those things.
Yeah.
Like going on a walk. Like I understand there's not a lot of people that can do that right now, or there's a lot of people that can. So I'm like, when I'm outside, I'm like, oh, this is so nice, or going on a run. And like I'm just so grateful for that. But then there's like things that, not focusing on what I can't do, but like for me, and this is such a small thing. I understand that. But I signed up for a triathlon on June 28th. It's probably not going to happen. I don't know. Like, I don't know what the world's going to be like then. But I was like so excited to start training. Like I ordered some tri shorts like 2 days before everything really went insane.
Yeah.
And so they finally got here like yesterday, and I'm like, well, I can't use these. You know what I mean? Because I can't really go swimming anywhere. I don't have a bike, and like we have stuff at the gym, but I can't go there. I mean, I technically could, but it's like I want to honor what the government has put out, so I'm not going to go there.
Yeah.
And so it's like, it's just strange, man. Like the reason I brought that up is because once this all blows over, or doesn't blow over, but once we get through it, because it's not just going to blow over, right?
Yeah.
We're going to have to grind through this. But like once we're through this time, the amount of thankfulness I'm going to have for all that stuff, I hope I can hold on to it.
Yeah.
Because I know how I am as a human, and I'm assuming a lot of you guys feel the same way. It's hard to stay thankful for things once they become the norm.
Yeah.
Because like right now, the thought of going to the grocery store terrifies me. Like I think I'm going to be, if I get sick, I truly think I'll be okay. Like I don't think that I would even ever have to go to the hospital, right? Like I think I would be fine. But I just am scared of the situation that is the grocery store right now. But I will say that they've handled it very well. So the Smart and Final is the closest grocery store to us. And I went there yesterday, and it was totally fine. Was a lot of stuff missing? Absolutely. Could I get eggs? Definitely not.
Yeah.
But like, luckily I was able to find the fake cartoned egg things, and I'm like, you know what? I could have been like, it's so annoying there's no eggs. I was like, at least these are here.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of stuff that I couldn't grab. But the experience of being there, I built it up in my head as being so much worse than it was going to be. And I mean, it's crazy. Now they have it set up to where you don't just get in line. You like stand at this one place, and then someone from that works there will come up to you and say, okay, you go to this. Mm-hmm. And it's like known, just keep your distance between people.
Yeah.
And then there's limits on pretty much everything in the store, which I think is very smart, because I truly, and maybe you know more about this, I don't understand the toilet paper thing.
I don't know either. I don't know the toilet paper thing.
Like there has to be a reason.
Someone out there was like, "Oh, you need to stock up on toilet paper," and then someone else said, "Oh, I need to stock up on toilet paper," and they told someone else they need to stock up on toilet paper, and eventually the rumor spread that you need toilet paper. But I honestly have no clue what. I don't know. Like even worse, like even if everything was terrible, you can use a rag.
You just
throw it right in the washer.
Shower after if you really need to, right? Like
yeah, it's like I don't understand the toilet paper thing.
I'm sure there has to be a reason. Like I need to research it more, but there has to be it's so weird.
Even the virus is respiratory. It's your lungs and your breathing. It's not like diuretic.
That's why I don't think that it's like people were really thinking, oh, I'm gonna poop a lot, so I need to get there has to be something else.
Yeah, maybe they think like, since I'm not gonna be at work, I'm gonna be using the restroom more than if I was.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Like I thought maybe there was something like I heard something, and this could be wrong, but I heard like people were saying a lot of that stuff is made in China. So they were like, we won't be able to get any more. So that's why I'm going to stock up, because we might not be able to buy some for a long time. But China's basically, that is one thing that because it's like so easy to focus on, the bad news, but there has been some good news.
There's been
as
a lot
far
of
as
good news.
like yeah, 100%. And like China, again, please don't like figure this stuff out for yourself. Like don't just like, this is just stuff that I've heard and seen. You know, we're not experts, so please, we're just two brothers talking. But like I've seen that they're ramping stuff back up. They're like getting back to normal, and so it seemed like for them it lasted like 2 months. So that's because I'm pretty sure that's kind of when it started. So I mean, that's a good news, you know, like a lot of the deaths and stuff has slowed down. I think like yesterday they had 0 deaths or 0 new cases, I think it was. And so that's good, you know, like, so there is some good news. It's just, it's hard to like, you just have to look for it, I think, you know?
Yeah. There's always going to be good news. There's always going to be bad news. People are just going to love to focus on the bad news more than the good news. And so I think that's just a thing that we have to make sure that we're doing is like, let's look at the good news. Let's look at the good. As the old Mr. Rogers quote, let's look for the helpers. In every disaster, you can look at the disaster. You can look at the helpers. There's always going to be people who are going out of their way to help. And I've definitely seen a lot of that. Like within the community that I'm in, a lot of people, both in the gym and in the church world, like the gym is our Facebook page is just lit up with people saying, hey, I tried this workout. Hey, I did this workout. Oh, here's the workout for today. Here's a couple things I did. Hey, let's meet at the park and work out. And I'm like, guys, don't do that.
Don't meet at the park, guys. Okay.
They're still doing it anyway.
I'm glad you guys want to see each other, but just like do a Zoom call or something. Right?
Yeah. And so it's like, that's cool. But then also like on the other side, like, hey, does anyone have toilet paper? Oh, I have some extra toilet paper. I'll come and bring some. Someone else made...
I'll come throw some on your lawn. You can grab it yourself.
Like someone else like decided to put it on themselves. They were going to make bread for a whole bunch of people. So they just made bread and you know what I mean? And so it's like, what's really cool. And I was talking to Sam about this, like what has been cool. And I'm not saying the virus is cool, but like it's been cool that everyone's slowed down and we've been forced to connect in other ways than on the way to do something else. Now it's like we're connecting for the sake of connecting, not because we're on the way to do something else. And I think that has been just so awesome. Like 2 days ago, Sam and I went live on Instagram. We were just messing around, and then you went live, and then we were just messing around on your live stream. And then someone in that live stream was like, "Sam, I'm gonna FaceTime you right now." And then we like so she started FaceTiming him, and we spent like another hour talking to them on the phone over FaceTime. It's like stuff like that, where it's like just connecting for the sake of connecting, and not because that person happens to be by you while you're doing something, has been a really cool thing that has come out of this.
Yeah, I think that's people are afraid to talk about like the positives that they've encountered through this, and I understand why. You know, people don't want it, like people thinking that they're like, oh, this virus is great.
Yeah.
And I don't think that anyone would think that, you know, because there's certain things that, like for me, like I was talking about, like it's shown me that there's value in the things that I know, and like it's been really nice because it's made me feel more confident in sharing that stuff and being like, there's a need here, I want to fill that need. And I think that it's definitely been interesting. There's been a lot of, you've seen a lot of the worst, I think this is a quote, but you've seen a lot of the worst of humanity with people hoarding and stocking up on things they don't need. But then you've also seen some of the best of humanity. People like, what can I do to help? How can I help you? What can I do? And it's a very interesting time. Like this is one of those things that I know for a fact. And this is, I've said this from the very start, like, again, it's not a good thing, but we are going to be able to look back on this, and it's something that the whole world is going to remember.
Yeah.
Like we're living through something that the whole world is going to remember. And I think that is unbelievably, for lack of a better term, cool. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's very interesting. And that's something that I'm like, wow, just respecting the virus for what it is. It's like, wow.
Yeah. And I think like people first of all, if you're hoarding toilet paper and if you're hoarding paper towels, like if you are doing it, no, like give it away.
Yeah.
Give a roll away. Give a pack away.
Did you hear that story of the guy that bought like $70,000 worth of hand sanitizer and then 17,000 and then
and then he
I
was
think it was
forced,
Canada, right?
Yeah.
And they said you can't you're not allowed to sell this. So he had to give it away.
He gave it away to a church. But like,
I love that, man.
Yeah, like if you are benefiting off of people's misfortune, yeah, you suck. I will say that. But if you are doing it out of like legitimate caution, or you maybe heard some false news or something, like give it away. I challenge you, give a little bit away. Because like what you're talking about, at the end of this, we're not going to be remembered for what we intended to do. We're going to be remembered for our actions. And so even if you didn't immediately have the right heart of how can I help someone? How can I be a force of good in this? You won't be remembered for what your intentions were. You won't be remembered for what you thought about. You're going to be remembered for the actions that you did in this time of crisis. So if you are hoarding onto stuff, like I'm talking to you, if you are doing that, give it away. It is better to give than receive. You will feel better that you were able to help someone in their time of need. And again, at the end of this, do you want to be remembered because you held on to everything, or because you were known to be a source of giving things away? And so I don't know. I just feel like that's pretty important to say. You're not going to be remembered for your intentions. You will be remembered for your actions.
I'm just thinking of all those like doomsday prepper people that we always make fun of, just like normal people make fun of. And they're probably just like, huh? Told you so.
I know, right?
It's funny because like you always hear about like the zombie apocalypse and all this stuff. I never thought like, oh, a virus could do this.
Yeah.
And it
makes sense.
And it absolutely does. Now that we're going through it, it's like, how has this not happened already? Really? Yeah. And it reminds me, I was at the gym before everything closed down, and it was like when the virus was kind of becoming a big deal in America. And at 24 Hour Fitness, they have stair climbers that I use, and then they have TVs, and they have this like 24-hour TV like thing that they have playing all the time, and it'll have like top music videos, top blah blah blah, right? It had top apps. One of the top apps was that plague game that you can play.
Yeah,
I played it before.
Yeah,
it's fun, but I was just like, that's savage.
I played it years ago.
Oh, yeah,
when it was called Pandemic or Epidemic or something like that. Like it was called something like that, and yeah, I killed off the whole world multiple times.
Did you?
Yeah,
I could never get Iceland.
Oh yeah, I
can never get Iceland.
But I would do it when I was on my shift at Levi's, so it wasn't the best.
Not the best time to do that.
No. I was definitely working. Mm-hmm. But it was at an outlet center that doesn't get any traffic. VA House Outlet Center.
Yeah, you literally like would just sit there and do nothing for hours, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Fold clothes,
yeah.
Yeah.
But there's only so many clothes you need to fold when no one's come in that day. Mm-hmm. And so there were legitimate times where it was like, and that was during the time where I was waking up, being at Starbucks at like 5:30 in the morning, finishing my shift at like 12 or 1, going home eating, and then going to Levi's at 2 and being there till 9:30. Like there was just those were long days. So I was just like, I don't really care that much. I quit. I was gonna say I think I got fired, but I quit.
You were gonna get fired, so you quit.
No.
How many times have you felt like you might have the virus?
I haven't.
You haven't?
No, I'm also not an Enneagram number 6. So
yeah. So my whole thing is like, anytime I'm like, oh, I feel like I should have breathed in a little bit deeper. Why can't I breathe in deep? I'm like, oh, I definitely have coronavirus. Or anytime I'm like, I feel a tickle in my throat. Oh, like it's just a constant. So I heard this thing like if you like breathe in deep
and hold it for 10 seconds, you shouldn't be able to hold it for 10 seconds. You're still holding your breath. You're thinking you're fine.
So I don't have coronavirus, but I've been doing that every like 5 times an hour because it's just like, that's just how my brain is wired. It's so frustrating.
No, I haven't thought that at all.
You really haven't thought that?
Nope.
I'm very jealous of you.
I do wonder like who the first one of my friends is going to be who has it. That's what I think. Like, who's going to be the first one in my friendship circle where it's like, oh, dang it. You know, like it's here now.
Yeah. Because that is something that is interesting.
There have been cases in East County. It just started.
Yeah, it just started.
East County's going to start spreading.
Mm-hmm. And so like,
we live in East County, so. That
is something that's interesting is like, because it hasn't truly touched us personally yet, I definitely am taking it as it's real, and I'm not like, oh, it's not a big deal. But like once it starts to actually like, oh, Jimmy and Bob have it, like, wow, that's gonna, you know, as they say on the internet, it's gonna hit differently.
Yeah.
for sure.
I'm trying to look. I'm gonna look at Tom Hanks on Instagram. I want to see if he's said anything. So Tom Hanks was no, he hasn't put anything. He got hit with the coronavirus and he seems to be fine, but he hasn't uploaded in 5 days. So
maybe he's
yeah,
you can't say that. You can't say that.
no. But I always felt like Tom Hanks is like, at least in my world, he was the first celebrity I knew who got it.
Yeah, same.
And so I was like, well, I'll take this as serious as what happens to Tom Hanks. You know, like he's not super old, but he's in his 60s, I think.
Yeah, he might. Yeah, he's definitely in his 60s for sure.
And so it's like, you know, targets the older generation. I mean, and older than Tom Hanks, but still hits them harder.
Yeah, I mean, it hits everyone, but it's like, if you're older or immunocompromised, it's much more of a big deal. I've actually, so this was the when I actually started being like, holy crap, this is a serious thing. It was the day I drove up to LA to film with Ethan, right? And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna drive up. It was the longest drive of all time. Not really. I'm being facetious. But it was
dramatic. You're not being facetious.
Yeah, it was very long, longer than the reason I say it was long is because it was like an hour and a half longer than it needed to be, just because of traffic.
It almost doubled the ride.
It almost doubled the ride. So I was like, okay, I'm going to listen to a podcast. And I heard that the Joe Rogan podcast, he has a virologist on it. I forget his name, but it's a very, like, I highly suggest listening to it. The information
After
is
this one.
Yeah, the information is probably a little dated now because it came out over a week ago. But the reason I liked that podcast was because it wasn't all, oh, this is no big deal, it's just a flu. But it also wasn't, this is the end of the world, everyone's going to die, and this is the end of everything, right? He was very like, I'm just going to tell you the information. So that's when I started to like really kind of respect like what it was. And I just remember like when I like came back, I was kind of like, oh, I don't know. Like I'm so worried about everything. And like, I don't know. It's just been, it's crazy because that was what, Wednesday of last week, I think. Or 2 weeks ago? I don't know. It wasn't that long ago. It's just crazy how fast things have changed. Like the things that you never thought would change are just like boop, completely like you can't do that, can't do this, can't do that. Like it's insane. And I completely understand why they're doing it. It's just like, whoa, I've never dealt with anything like this before.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's been like not even knowing how to plan. So needing to plan for Sunday every week. We don't know what to, you know, like we don't know. Like we can't film anything on Tuesday because what if by Friday it's a completely different story and now we don't, you know, so it's like the same thing. We've literally been on like pretty much like a 24-hour ahead sketch. Not even that sometimes. Like when we found out the home and shelter thing, or whatever it's called.
Shelter and home.
Yeah, shelter and whatever. Like that was, you had 4 hours notice. Like it was like they did it at like 8, maybe 7, and they said it's active at midnight. So that was a 5-hour notice of like, oh, and okay, all right. So then we were dropping something off at a friend's house, and we were like, let's just go to Target on the way, and we grabbed some stuff because it's like we don't know what it's gonna look like, and there weren't any toilet paper or paper towels. Give them up, people.
Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, it's just been very interesting. I'm kind of curious to see, you know, like what it looks like in 2 weeks, what it looks like in 1 week. Like I have no idea. And
you know what's frustrating?
What?
My 30th birthday is on April 12th. I'm turning 30. I had rented out a warehouse to have the most epic 90s themed birthday party because I was born in 1990 of all time. I was ready to go into my 30s with like a bang. And now the birthday card party is going to get canceled.
Yeah, that's definitely not going to happen now.
And then the day, so that was going to be on April 11th, and then April 12th was Easter. And so both those are just gone.
Yeah, and it's been interesting like on social...
Easter is canceled, folks.
Yep. He didn't come back.
Not this... No, they didn't rise again.
Yeah,
he stayed dead this year.
Jesus, what the heck, man? All right,
yeah, no.
Just kidding. Don't smite me. But it's like the landscape on social media is interesting because I've gotten people messaging me I've had both sides. I've had every side of it, but it's like I had this person that commented, and then they actually sent me a DM as well, basically mad that I hadn't talked more about the coronavirus. Right? I couldn't believe it because one, everyone is talking about it, and people that know much more than I do, right? But I'm like, my last 2 videos on my YouTube channel, I've mentioned, like, they've been about that. And then all of these at-home workouts are because of, what are you talking about? Like, so people are, I think because they are, like, people are scared. And I think when people are scared, they do things that are irrational. And so, like, I think this person is just, like, so scared that they want everyone to be talking about it always. But, like, for me, I'm like, there's enough people talking about it. I don't think I need to tell people to wash their hands more and stay inside. Like, everyone is already doing that. And it's like, obviously I agree with that. That's why all these workouts are at home. Like, did I ever post at home workouts before? No, because I didn't work out at home, you know? I just think I don't know. It's been interesting because people are like, they expect you to, like, talk about it. And, like, for me, it's hard because I don't, like, I want to talk about it, but at the same time, it's like, I understand that some people are sick of hearing about it all the time. But it's like, it's weird because if you don't talk about it, that just feels weird. Like, that is what it's the whole world is about right now. You know, like, if we came on here and we're like, okay, we're going to talk about the best
calories in, calories out.
Best tips for snatches. Like, it would have been like, what? Like I said, maybe in a few weeks or in a month, like, once this is just, like, life, it's like, okay, well, we need to move on. Yeah. And, like, I'm trying to do that with certain things, you know? Like, for me, I'm not trying to plug anything, but, like, I recently became sponsored by BPN, right? Bare Performance Nutrition. And that happened a while ago, but it was right when everything started going crazy. And I was like, I don't want to announce this right in the middle of this. Like, it didn't feel right. But then it got to a point where it was like, well, do I just wait forever? And so it was like, okay, well, let me just announce this. And people have been nice and, like, supportive and stuff, and it's really cool. And I'm very happy about that. But it's like, I'm trying my best to be as, like, respectful of the situation as possible, but also understand that, like, people want to think about other things. You know what I mean? Like, I'm watching tons of videos about triathlon right now because, one, that's just how I am. We know this, right? But it's like, I want to somehow kind of focus on something else other than that. And I'm sure there's other people that are the same way. Like, that's why we went to Target to try and get some, like, items that we needed. But then I was like, well, if we're going to be here, might as well look at the other stuff. And I looked at the video games, like, you know, I haven't bought a video game in a long time. And so I bought this game, Octopath Traveler, which it's like a JRPG game, right? Kind of like Final Fantasy. And JRPG, yeah.
What does that mean?
I think it stands for Japanese role-playing game, which is, I think because they're from Japan.
I know RPG, but I don't know.
Yeah, Japanese. So it's a very, like, it's turn-based.
I've never heard you sound more nerdy. In
yeah, well, you know, whatever. I'm nerdy.
It's a JRPG game, okay?
Wow. That's very rude of you. Just saying. But, like,
don't mess with the JRPG games. They're really cool, and you're cooler than your standard games.
It is. All right.
Okay.
You whatever, bro. You play video games all the time too.
I play Call of Duty.
Wow.
So poorly.
Poorly. Yeah, that's true.
Poorly. You're better at me than it, but still.
Yeah, but so I bought that mainly just because I wanted.
If you want to look us up or work for change on Call for Duty. Call
for Duty. You sound like a mom. You sound like, are you playing Call for Duty now?
Hey guys, we're cool. Find us on the Call for Duty game. Work for change.
You're like the
fellow kids.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you're like the guy that walks up. Hello, fellow kids.
I got the corona.
You got it, dude. Don't cough on me, bro.
I died of dysentery.
But yeah, so, like, and I've been watching videos on that and, like, just trying to escape at, like, in some capacity, right? Like, it's not like I'm trying to. I'm staying informed, but I think that, like, it's dangerous to only consume that stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I really do think that it's smart to, like, what I've been trying to do. I'm not the best at it. Is, like, when I wake up in the morning, like I'll try and read like if there's anything breaking that's very crazy, you know what I mean, that I feel like I should know. But then I try not to focus on it too much until either later that day or just until the next day. Because like right now, at least in California, like not much has changed in the past couple of days. Like there was a good probably 5 days to a week where it was like every day there was a huge change.
250, 50, 10, home and shelter, shelter like, in place, whatever.
And so I was like really, really consuming a lot of the content, but now it's like things have pretty much like they're doing what it seems like is going to be the most intense, hopefully. Like, I don't know. Like, who knows? Like, it'd be crazy if they ever were like martial law, like you're not allowed to leave your house. And if you get caught outside, like you get thrown into the, I don't even know what they would do, because it's like, what are they going to do? Put you in jail with a bunch of other people where you all get sick? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't even know how that would work, but like, it seems like not much has changed for how our lives are going to go. So it's like,
to be fair, we have a whole day where this isn't going to come out yet.
Yeah.
This is Sunday right now. So Monday's going to exist.
Yeah, that's true.
And something could happen, and by Tuesday we're going to be so irrelevant.
Yeah, I think it's important. Yeah, important to say that. This came out we're recording this on Sunday.
On Sunday the 22nd.
Yeah.
So, you know, just
if you're like,
if on the 23rd, you know, martial law was established.
We didn't know yet. Yeah. But again, like I said, it's interesting to see how different the whole world has kind of like reacted.
What are you laughing about?
I just thought of that video that went like super viral of the celebrities that were singing the
Imagine. I still don't know if that was a joke or
people
if that
got
was
so mad. And then
because like some of the people they had were like this had to be a joke. Like Sarah Silverman, Will Ferrell, like I can't imagine them doing something like that seriously.
It seemed like it was a serious thing though.
Yeah,
like, but it's just weird because it's like, why not? Like, if you're going to do that, why not do it with singers? Like, if you're going to be actors, do something that requires acting.
So Gal Gadot was like, I was just, you know, out on my porch in Italy or something. And there was this, you know, super like not in with the world, like very much in a different place than the rest of everyone else is. She's like, and there was this trumpet player, or maybe she's watching a video or something, and there's this trumpet player who was doing Imagine on their porch so that everyone else in Italy can hear the music. And it was so nice. So I want to do the same thing. And so then she started singing Imagine, and all these other celebrities chimed in, but it was like, some people were like,
that are not good singers.
Yeah. And some of them were like really bad, and some of them were like, you're trying too hard. And
some of them were like bad on purpose, which almost seemed like rude.
Yeah.
It was very interesting, but a lot of people...
You can find it.
I saw a tweet that was like, other than the virus, this is the worst thing that's happened because of it, or something like that.
Yeah. People are savage.
It's a crazy time, man. It's definitely going to be something to look back on and just... I mean, even like this, that's what's so cool about like podcasts and stuff, is like being able to listen to this in a year and be like, wow, we had no idea what was going to happen. Or like, wow, it's a very interesting thing. You know, is there anything else that you want to say?
Nope. I think I'm just ready to get out of this room. It's pretty hot in here.
Yeah, it's really hot. I'm sweating.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we hope that you guys are staying safe.
Yeah. Stay safe. If you are sick, stay alone.
Stay inside.
Yeah.
Don't go anywhere. If you're not sick, stay inside.
Yeah.
But yeah, like we would love to hear kind of your experiences, like what you're going through. So, I mean, if you're watching this, obviously you can always leave a comment, but if you want to, you know, interact with us, hit us up on Instagram, Work for Change Podcast,
Jean Glaude,
or Obese to Beast. Just let us know. Let us know how you're doing. Hopefully this helped you just, you know, listen to two guys talk about it, you know, people that aren't trying to say, this is what you should do, this is what you shouldn't do. We're just trying to share our experience with you.
Yep. Now we're going to go play our JRPG game.
Our video games.
We're going to play our video games, okay, guys?
Bye, guys.
Bye.